Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel and my Starfield playthrough. Today our plan is going to be to go back to New Atlantis to hand in this Vanguard mission we were doing on Londinian here. And then after that I want to spend this episode working on trying to expand the base to get a couple more resources in, and also I want to run around and collect all of the powers of the temples that we can get for the artifacts that we have so far.
Let's put this bird to space. Orbital insertion completed.
Alright, so first we're headed to New Atlantis.
Navigational feedback checks out. We're in the right place.
All right, we're done. You're cleared to land at New Atlantis.
Alright, we'll go right to the Mass District.
Do you have a favorite restaurant here? Mine is currently Whetstone, but it changes.
Haven't tried any of them, to be honest. Not this playthrough, anyway. I forgot we had to deal with this guy again. I can't remember exactly how this conversation is going to go, but I'm pretty sure I probably am going to come out of it annoyed.
Authorized personnel all. Fred has to stay here.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for? Now, what in the heavens would make you claim something as ludicrous as that? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us.
No, I don't think so.
You know, you're far more clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing.
Dude, I literally don't care why you would do such a thing. The fact that you're, like, proud of it makes me sick.
Hardly. The discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found. But we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. So I did what was required. I removed the dangerous variable from an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You. There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday. You're being honored only because I arranged the situations where it could happen. Be grateful. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together. That is a pity, Captain. But I'm in no position to negotiate. Though we needn't be enemies, you and I. Just think about the opportunity I've provided here. There are more on the horizon.
It's not like you're a dangerous
You
enemy
do the
where
right
you're
thing.
at. Just saying. I have to say, I'm actually glad I started with this campaign, this first playthrough, because this is honestly one of the ones that really gets under my skin. So, it'll be good to have it out of the way.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Aciles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant? I knew it. The second I heard that recording, I knew. Why? Did he say why he did it? Probably a good approach. I'm sure the UC interrogators will be able to get to the bottom of it.
I just feel like she doesn't need to hear
Let
that
someone
it's
else
like
deal with him.
he was trying to
Worrying
do it
about
for
his
her to a
motives will
degree.
get us nowhere. His actions are all that matter.
Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything like this ever again. Exactly. Bring justice to everyone he's hurt. So I guess that gives us our final answer. Nothing left to do but head in and see what the cabinet thinks of it all. Unless there was more to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the terramorphs. And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays? Well, ma'am, it seems your report is incorrect. Francois Sanon was responsible for the attacks.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now that's quite the accusation your group is leveling. Seeing as Francois Sanon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this. And said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
I would agree, yeah.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vevictus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately.
Yeah, I just think that if he's able to pull that off from in a cell, he's probably a little dangerous.
With our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches. The three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the Cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the Cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns
No,
its
I
true
hate
nature.
that. No. They need to
sound
talk to
decision,
the
Madam
Freestar
President.
Collective.
Tell the Freestar Collective? Wow. So they have another tool to utilize against us?
I'm in agreement. I fail to see the value here.
A show of good faith now would display a willingness to change. It would be seen as a sign that the secrecy and deception is behind you.
That is an interesting idea. A grand gesture to further display this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
So, you want us to make nice with the Collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the Collective involved in the management. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've had a few discussions, but our group is similarly split. Only the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
I just feel like the safest approach is probably the Aseles, because you're basically just undoing what they did when they extincted the predators that were supposed to take care of the Terramorph, so makes the most sense to me.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
The first step...
I'm not sure extincted as a word actually is probably made extinct,
Bolder,
but
better, and
you know what
brighter.
I mean.
Well, I need to write that one down for later.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sanan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Well,
I would like a chance to talk to you.
I'm extremely glad that's over with, to be honest. That being said, I think it's a very good questline. It probably is one of my favorites. Like, the fact that it can get under my skin like that is kind of one of the things that makes me feel like it's a really good campaign.
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain. No need to thank me. You brought this on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you?
I would actually really like to, do all that later.
You've earned some R&R. Once you're rested up and ready to head out there again, you come see me.
Yeah. I need an emotional break from the Vanguard for a little bit. Alright, let's run over here to the realty office, get access to the penthouse, because it is pretty cool. We'll go check that out really quick before we head back to the ship.
Well, if it isn't the United Colony's newest Class 1 citizen, you've made quite a name for yourself in New Atlantis. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the nicest pieces of real estate in the city. It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location in New Atlantis, in my professional opinion.
What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered as the owner.
Great! You're in for a real treat. It's one of my favorite apartments in the city.
Okay, you're all set. Your new home's located in Mercury Tower in the residential district. You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous floor plan and an unbeatable view of the city. Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around town.
Oh, I forgot about that. They even give you some building materials so that you can start making furniture. That's pretty cool. Alright, next we're going to run over here and we'll check this penthouse out really quick. Alright, Mercury Tower. Let's see here.
Definitely better than the last interceptor.
Alright, even the hall is pretty nice, you know? It's fancy. I like that it's got like these two balconies on both sides. And you know what's crazy about this game is because there's like literally like all of that is actually the world down there. Like you can actually just jump with your boost pack and get down there like really fast. Wow, that's a really big bathroom. The only thing I'll say is, like, I wish that these worked like a cooking station so that you didn't have to then turn around and, like, actually, like, have to build a cooking station. Why am I forgetting how you do any of that? That, and then that. Alright. So, yeah, you actually end up having to build, like, an actual cooking station. So that's a little unfortunate, but that's what I use this little room for. I feel like it's probably supposed to be a pantry, but it also works as where you put your cooking station. Laundry room. Apparently you only get, maybe they wash and dry in one machine now. I mean, it is, you know, the future. This is a good room to put an armory in. And then you get a whole other bathroom over here, I think. Even bigger. And another balcony. And this is what I'm talking about. You can literally, you could just jump all the way down there to your ship. I don't know if I have the guts to do it. Maybe we'll do it. Like, that's really cool, honestly. Fast travel. You don't even need to fast travel. Till one wrong move and you're just like falling all the way down. Run out of boost pack or something. Probably not as efficient as taking the fast travel, but it's kind of entertaining to do it once. Honestly, it might actually be faster than all the loading screens to go through all that. Andreja will never catch up before we get to the ship, though. There's no way. Oh, I lied. She's right there. Maybe she followed me. I guess it's not actually faster than if you just fast traveled back to your ship, but if you were actually going through like the tram and stuff, it would probably be faster. I want to add an armory to our ship really quick because I keep talking about it and then forgetting to do it. Oh, I didn't even realize we were up to 100 or over 100,000 credits already. Okay, there we go. Now we're set. Alright, now I can do some inventory management when we get on there and stash some of our weapons that we don't have a ton of ammo for, so that we're not having to carry quite as much around. Alright, let's see here. So I think we're going to head out, and we're going to grab some powers from the temples that we, or like for the artifacts that we already have. And then we'll figure out from there how much time we have left.
Looks peaceful from up here, doesn't it?
Judging how long all that took for the Vanguard stuff, I'm actually not sure how far we're gonna get in the stuff that we were gonna do this episode, just because that actually took a bit longer than I thought.
For a moment.
Gonna have to wait a bit on that, Andreja. Sorry. Is that the temple right there? I think that might be the temple right there. Let's not forget we have our vehicle this time. We don't need to walk. I think I need to adjust this so that the mouse does not control the steering. I think that's what I'm not digging about the way this drives. Because it's like I have two ways to steer, and that I'm used to like the mouse just moving the camera around.
Can we speak for a moment?
Alright, here we go again. I wonder if I'll get as lucky as I did last time. I'm not gonna make it to that one in time. We're just gonna wait for it to move. There we go. I'm in the middle of this experience. She's just like, I want to talk.
If you have the
Alright.
I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance to work with you. I know we met under, unusual circumstances. You seem to be acclimating well to Constellation. Are you enjoying working with them? I think none of
I
us
should
were
have kept my
expecting
day
what we have
job.
found. Well, perhaps Mateo. You have certainly become a vital part of the organization. That is a credit to your abilities. If I may, from what you have seen, do you think I fit in well with the rest of Constellation?
Oh, I like this answer, because I don't know how to answer that.
No, I do not. But I find it hard to quantify. Many of the other members are polite, but distant. I worry that my background and my actions concern them. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers for years. I am no stranger to violence and death. I know. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult to imagine or accept. Others here have seen conflict, but for more noble causes. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. He was the one who pressed the group to include me. I lack his charm. He puts others at ease. I fear my presence does the opposite. It is strange. I admit it has never been an issue before now. I know this seems trivial, perhaps childish. I have just always relied only on myself. I have never been surrounded by people like this. By a group I wish to be a part of. Does that make sense? Thank you. That is reassuring. Discussing these things is challenging for me. I hope now you can better understand why I wanted to keep the circumstances of our meeting quiet. I wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but it is still a relief. I would like my contributions to Constellation to amount to more than violence. Indeed it was. And now I hope you can see why. Thank you for talking this over with me. It is good to know that at least one member of Constellation understands me. Can we speak for a moment?
No, we just talked. Not again. Not yet. Alright, back to the ship. Alright, it looks like we have a level up to spend. So we don't have any science ones yet. I think that I'm going to start with surveying, because I think that improves our scanning.
Talk to me.
But that is where we're going to leave it for this episode, because everything with the Vanguard ending ran over a lot longer than I expected. So in the next one, we'll continue this, looking for the temples to get the powers for the artifacts we've unlocked already. And then we'll do some more of the base expansions like we talked about and go from there. I think we're getting close to the end of the first playthrough here. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next episode.